a person I've just met here. You are black?
Yeah, I told it.
Yeah, brilliant. And the question is today is it okay for the Premier League to have preferential treatment over one political, organisation over another? We do know that the poppy has now been banned from the sponsorship or, for any sort of affiliation with a professional football league or whatever.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
I feel like poppies have been around for ages, so I feel like they shouldn't be banned just because they stand for something for so many people. Same way Black Lives Matter also stands for people. So I don't feel like Black Matters should be not allowed to be on people's t-shirts and stuff, but I think poppies shouldn't be taken away. I think people should express themselves. If it's peacefully, then I think, do you know what I mean? It's not hurting anyone, it's a poppy. Same way Black Lives Matter, if it's done peacefully, then I just think it's respect. Yeah. Brilliant. So many people fought, and it's, they deserve it, the families and stuff.
And I've got to ask you as well, because you are a black female in this country, do you feel there is structural racism against you?
Yeah, but it's not only I'm black, it's like I'm black, I'm African and a Muslim. So I've got all of them, So it's weird because people will be like, oh, I like black people, but Muslims, and it's like, oh, I'm a Muslim too, you didn't know that. That's terrible, so it's a bit weird, but I feel like structurally there is racism and there always will be. It's just the way things are. I feel like the only way it could go is if black people get their foot in the door and go and work for police and things like that. That's the only way you're going to see change. Yeah, I mean,
your opinion is a very rounded opinion, because most of the people that I speak to with Black Lives Matter, they always seem to talk about the police and things like that as if they're a negative force. And I don't believe that's true.
Yeah, in the future I want to work alongside them. I don't want to be in the police force, but I want to work with young offenders. So I did my placement at a youth offending team, and I worked with police officers.
So when it comes to the youth, youth offending, what do you think are the issues for the youth at the moment?
I feel like there's not enough representation. I feel like they need to see people in positions that, let's say, like with the police, they need to see black people working for the police, and they're not there to harm you, they're there to help. So I wanted to be someone that can help the issue instead of add to it. Like, I want people to see, oh, I'm going to be a youth worker and I'm going to be black and I'm going to work in youth offending teams, and I'm not bad, I'm here to help you. So I feel like people need to be in these positions. We need to be doctors, we need to be lawyers, we need to be judges, and that's the only way you're going to see change and be role models.
And do you think it's the system's responsibility to help people when there's plenty of opportunities out there, in my opinion?
I feel like there's opportunities out there.
What I mean is, sorry, do you want me to rephrase the question?
Yeah.
Who is stopping somebody who isn't like me from achieving something, and who is stopping someone who isn't like me from getting a job, and who is stopping someone who isn't like me getting education?
I feel like it's a system.
I'm saying, how can one person be stopped from walking to a college and getting an education? Who physically stops them from doing that?
No one, but I feel like there's structures in place in communities that are fully predominantly BMEs
go on.
From doing stuff. So
like
many.
What?
So let's
like
say,
for
me,
like a real life example, not a generalisation of the system.
Cool.
Give me a specific example of somebody who's from a BAME area. What is stopping that individual from going to get a job or from going to college?
I feel like it depends on the area. I feel like most of the case studies.
So it's not the individuals. It's nothing
I feel
to do with the individual.
I feel like it is to do with the individual. But if you're from,
how much would you say? Sorry to keep interrupting
you.
It's okay. But how much of a percentage would you say it's the responsibility of the individual versus the responsibility of the structure?
I'd say 60-40.
And which one's which?
So 60 is the individuals, but 40 is the structures in place. Just because I feel like you need to have drive behind you. But if you've never seen anyone do anything, and you're from an area that doesn't, all youth centres are gone, like so many opportunities.
For example, we've got Anthony Joshua, we've got quite a few high public facing individuals that have turned their life around.
Yeah, but they're celebrities again. Like, I feel like you
always celebrities, were they?
You need real life examples.
So in the area.
In the area, you need to see people in your area that
like buying black businesses.
Yeah,
and so
like
you go
support.
to the shop, you black face.
You need to see these people. Like,
are there not African shops around?
There is, but most of the hair shops that are selling our like African products, Asians.
Why does that matter though?
It doesn't matter. I'm not saying it does matter, but I'm saying there's a lot of businesses we support.
How can a white person in England change that?
They can't change it, but just support us. Be like, you know what? Give us chances. Some people go on interviews, and just because of their colours, they're not being given jobs. Because it's in the structure. No, I know, but it's the structure. It generally is that way.
I mean, in my experience, because I totally disagree with the fundamental concept that obviously in the last 10, 20 years it's changed a lot. So I'll never say that there wasn't structural racism in the police force, in the education, there was definitely racism when I was growing up. And I just believe that now in 2020, with the laws that we've got involved with the Discrimination Act, and there's a few different laws involved, and every single advert or advertisement has always got to be representing everyone. And our country as a whole has been really trying every single year to make it more of a fairer place because we fully accept of our history, and you know what I mean. It wasn't very fair. However, say that somebody's doing good work towards making it a more equal society. For the Black Lives Movement to turn around and say that the UK invented racism or the UK is all racist, I've heard statements like that personally. And also people, part of the Black Lives Movement, keep using the word white a lot as well. And I fundamentally find that quite offensive to say that all white people are racist or white privilege.
I believe in Black Lives Matter, and my view is I don't believe all white people are racist. I've got white friends.
But the point was is that do you agree with the Black Lives Movement using the word white all the time?
I feel like no, but I feel like I can't tell someone they can't do something. I don't know their life experiences. You never know what a person's been through. Right. I feel like Black Lives Matter to me is a positive movement. It shouldn't be. It's not black against white for me. We're together.
So
this is my voice. Uplift me.
Why mention white?
I haven't mentioned white, so I can't speak on that, and I'm not going to because I don't believe that. I can't speak on something I don't believe on.
Of course not. But I'm saying this is my issue, you see, because say for example, if I was, I don't know, in any organisation, and I kept on saying the word black, and I said that, I don't know, black people don't care about Nottingham Forest, or black people don't care about, I don't know, Chinese children rights in why am I selecting that race to say that they don't care?
Yeah, but that's just looking at, if you look at other movements, like if you look at the EDL, they can say whatever they want to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but the EDL isn't supported by mainstream media.
And the reason why Black Lives Matter is now supported so much is because of the uproar and all the things that have been going on.
But just because there's an uproar doesn't mean it's justified, is it?
It's not justified, but if you look at the news and you look at everything, all the pain you're seeing, I feel like people aren't...
What pain? With George Lucas?
Literally everything that's just been going on.
Have you personally ever been stopped by the police?
Not me.
Okay, so how can you say
I know people that have been.
No, I'm saying, but how can anybody say that the system is fundamentally racist, but they've never been stopped by the police?
Because you see it all the time, even in my area.
Who do you see getting arrested though?
I see black boys in my area who are just walking down.
And who do you think commits the majority of crime in that area?
In my area, in Leicester, I know it's white males.
So your area,
my area in Leicester.
So in your area, you see only black individuals getting arrested.
I don't only see black people getting arrested, but I'm saying
this is my point. You see, so the police have got a job to do. Okay, and they're in a predominantly BAME area. Okay, and in that area there is crime occurring. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, larger amount of crime occurring in a poor area.
Yeah.
Like I'm from Slenton, for example. Yeah. Okay. Now the majority of people in that area aren't white. Okay, that's just a fact. Okay?
Yeah.
So if the policeman is to do a consensus in that area to try and search people, how can he not search people of an ethnic minority? For
I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I feel like...
No, but one thing, the question is that if the area is full of non-white people, then how can the police officer not stop only non-white people?
Well, that's impossible, but I'm saying it's when it's unjustly done.
How can you say it's racism when he doesn't know they've done the crime until he stops them?
I didn't say it was racism, I said it's unjust to some of them. If you stop me...
I love the way you use that word, because it's very important to me. These words. These words are very important, aren't they?
In some cases, not all police officers are horrible.
No,
that's the thing, and this is what I mean, like, there needs to be a bridge, like, police officers are doing their job, most of them, and obviously in any career you're going to have dodgy people, it's the way it is, but I feel like it's about communities getting to know your police officer. You walk down the street, you say hi. They're not bad. Like that's what I mean. I feel like young people. That's why I'm saying they should be black police officers, so people feel comfortable. It's not there to be scared about or feared.
100%. So I'll ask a question again, fam. Hello, my name is Phil. I'm here from Not Online. I'm asking random people today. You're a black person, correct? Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to ask your opinion. So so it's not one-sided.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you've heard about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And do you support it?
Yeah, I do, because it's my people, obviously.
Your people?
Yes, our people, obviously. We're all one, so no one's different. We all bleed the same thing.
You are who you are, that's fine.
We're all human, so yeah.
It's just a very simple question. If there's no political messages allowed on the Premier shirt, like there's no, Gaza or any sort of, children in China, slavery, there's no sort of political messages allowed on the shirts, especially not the poppy.
Yeah.
However, Black Lives Matter has been now embellished upon the shirt.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
I do, but I don't at the same time, because also every little thing I think we should all celebrate and like just cherish that, like such as the war and all that stuff. So lives, war, all of that kind of stuff, and kids and everything. So I think everything should be cherished because everyone's equal.
Yes, of course. I 100% agree with that as well. I fully
definitely.
agree with that. And so if that's the case, then these shirts are going to get covered with loads of messages, aren't they? They're going to get covered with loads of messages, aren't they? Thank you very much, man. And also, in terms of the EDL and all that other stuff that's been going on, do you think that the aggression and the fighting is really against Black Lives Matter, or is it about something else?
I think it's about something else. I just think it's the fact that everyone's just trying to find an excuse for this guy's death. So everyone's just starting to rob Gucci and stuff like that in America. But what's that going to do for a guy's death?
Well, of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
no,
not
of
gonna...
course, yeah. We're all poor. We understand why people might want to do that. You know, they can't afford it, whatever. But I mean, but the question is that with these EDL fans, these football fans, do you think they're really going there to protect the statues and the police, or do you think they've got an ulterior motive?
I think they've got an alternative motive, to be honest with you. Yeah, I really think they do. But as I said, everything should be cherished the same way. Just like this is with the Black Lives Matter thing.
100% agree with you. And how old are you, sir?
I'm 17.
17, brilliant, new generation, isn't it? That's what we like to hear. And so, so I'll ask you another question because I've got you now. One more question. Oh yeah, you as a black man in this country, do you feel treated? Do you think your opportunities are less? Yeah,
because I find it where for a white person it's much easier for them to get to where they want to get to than a black person because of their skin tone or something. But it's not always the case. So it's with certain things that I'm limited on because of my skin colour. So,
and what are those things? Such
as like football and stuff like that. Football, certain jobs and stuff like that because of the way I am.
And how would football? So you're saying that a scout wouldn't scout you based on your colour?
They could, but I think it's much harder for a black person to...
You think that, but you've not seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I think
it's much harder. Do you think that teaching black children, in general, that the world's against them, is going to make you feel positive about every interaction you have with somebody who isn't your colour?
No.
Do you think that it's helpful for the younger generations to separate people based on colour?
No.
And do you think it's helpful for the Black Lives movement to use rhetoric where they say white people are racist or white privilege?
It's not because it's not all white people. There's certain types of white people where you got the racist ones and you got the ones that appreciate black people because of who they are, because they bleed the same, they're the same people, just different colour. So that's why,
Brilliant. And what are your ambitions in life?
To be honest, I just want to grow up to provide for everyone, whether you're black, you're white, no matter what colour you are.
You personally, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you're 17, what are you trying to do?
I would try to be a boxer. I would like to be a boxer.
Wow.
I'd try to get into sport.
Wow. So, did you choose sport? I mean, did you choose boxing because you liked it?
Yeah. Let's choose boxing.
Yeah. But you must like getting hit in the head then. You don't get hit that much.
I don't get hit in the head so much.
Thank you very much for your time. That's it. Would you like to have a comment?
I don't want to be on camera.
No, of course not. Same thing.
Okay.
Have your opinion?
I thought you could see me.
No, it's alright. You stand over there, bro. Otherwise you'd be on the camera. You can be on camera if you want, though.
Right. Now, I'm his mother.
No, you're not on camera.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm his mother, so I have a different opinion. No, I don't agree with Black Lives Matter at all, because I believe that all lives matter, because what they're doing is, when they're highlighting Black Lives Matter, they're segregating people, they're making people arguing against each other, and what the black people need to understand is, it's a game. You understand? It's a game to make each other hate each other, and at the end of the day, there's no reason for it. It's just ignorance. You've got ignorant black people, you've got ignorant white people. What you shouldn't do is lumber everybody together, because you've got ignorant racist black people, you've got ignorant white people. You shouldn't, say, oh, white people are racist, because they're not.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And not all black people are racist.
No.
What they need to do is get their fucking,
It's alright, it's okay.
Take the elbows out of the ass, right, and look at each other and see each other's differences and love each other for who they are, not for what people put on TV. And what you said is, why should you have Black Lives Matter? No, I don't associate myself with any form of Black Lives Matter or
any form of association, because I'm for the people. I'm not for just black people. I'm for the people.
Of course, I really appreciate that.
So
'cause
that's
I
my
agree.
side
I
on
100%
that.
agree, because like you said, in my experiences, it is because there is a majority of white people around, that it would seem that more are racist, because there's more of them around being racist of the percentage that there are. I did grow up with racism. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 38.
38?
Yeah,
I thought she was 30 years old then. I'm
no,
36.
I was with me on 30.
I'm 36, but yeah, I did experience some racism when I was growing up. Not against me, but you know, I mean, people were
I've
racist.
never had racists against me.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. Obviously, you don't want to touch anyone, but yeah, thank you so much for your time. You know,
No problem.
It's not online. And do you know what? We also need writers. Yeah, anyone can write there without no email address.
Do you do YouTube as well? Because we do.
I do that. Yeah. For your time, I see you both sitting here enjoying the beautiful weather in Nottingham today.
Yep.
And I am here to ask you a question, and it's a relevant question to what's going on at the moment in the news. You do know that the Premier League have banned any political message on their shirts from a long time ago, i.e. poppies. And do you understand the wisdom of that?
Not really.
No.
I don't understand why they would do that.
Okay. Why do you think it's okay to have a political message on a non-biased team?
Well, I think like when it comes to media and when it comes to like these people have a lot of exposure to the whole world, so I think it's very important that they should put political messages, especially when it concerns people's lives and stuff like that. So.
Okay, and would you say that they get as much attention on the pitch as off the pitch?
On the pitch.
So why on the pitch?
Everyone's watching. You got the whole world's attention.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
If you want to deliver a message, you want to make sure you have people's attention when you deliver.
Does it matter what the message is?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does.
So it's only allowed if you agree with the message?
Not necessarily if I agree, but I think anyone can agree when it comes to someone's life. It's not debatable. But if it was,
it's not debatable.
Yeah, if it's about people's lives, that's not debatable. But if it was like, let's say, about who should be president, that should not be allowed, because that's very opinion based.
Okay. So you agree with the Premier League banning poppies?
Not necessarily. I mean, no. I mean, personally, no. I don't have an opinion on
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to make the point that if you don't agree with the if you don't agree with the message, then you don't agree with the rule.
See, the thing is, it's like it depends on what the message is.
This is a very subjective argument, isn't it? We can't have subjective arguments in society, can we?
Yeah.
We can't have somebody who's subjectively deciding what's political and what isn't political, what is okay, what isn't okay. It's got to be the same rule for everyone. That is equality, surely not.
Yeah, but I think like the Black Lives Matter movement isn't a political issue. It's like a human rights
issue.
Yeah. So I think that like that should be allowed, because that's like spreading awareness about something that is really important when it does concern people's lives.
100%. I mean, I'm all for the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
However, I do have some grievances with their methods of communication and their rhetoric that they're using. I mean, are you part of the movement? Would you consider yourselves part of Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've shared content
Yeah.
and went to the protests and stuff, and I've like trying to educate people about it, educate
100%,
myself
100%.
about it.
Can you educate me then? Because this is what I need to discuss with people, because I've not actually met anybody who's officially part of the movement, if you know what I mean. Like, they will say that they support the movement, and I say, are you part of the movement? Because nobody's claiming to be the leader of the organisation. It's a very,
Oh, so are you thinking of those as like two separate things, like being
part
of it and...
Yes, because in terms of the actual movement itself, I would never disagree with the fundamental principles that, there are biases. Now, let me ask you a question, because you seem to be, in my opinion, or what I've received from you, it seems to be that you are in possession of facts in regarding to Black Lives Matter. You believe that lives are really at risk.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And you believe that... just tell me what you believe, because I'm a bit confused, because when they say things like white privilege, okay, I find that fundamentally offensive. Do you know why?
Why?
Okay.
Do you know why?
No, why?
No. The reason why I find it offensive is if I ask you a question, okay, what can you achieve that I can't achieve? What can you own that I can't own?
Yeah.
And what can you be that I can't be? I mean, sorry, what can I be that you can't be?
Oh, yeah.
What can I own that you can't own? What can I achieve that you can't achieve as a non-white person in this country or any country? United States or UK.
Yeah.
If you could fundamentally explain to me what I can do that you can't, then that would justify to me a privilege. Other people's racism isn't my privilege because it hurts the whole of society and it hurts me as well. So you can't say that other people giving me preferential treatment because of race is a privilege of mine, because I find that grievously wrong in our society, and I believe it creates so many problems in society. So I don't support the terminology of white privilege because I believe the terminology itself is creating a lot of issues.
I think it's the system that's the problem.
The question is, what can I own that somebody can't own who's not white, and what can I achieve that somebody can't achieve that isn't white?
No, I think we can all do the same thing.
So where's the privilege?
It's within the system and the people in
Which system?
power. Like the people
Which
in
system?
power. All of
Let's be
them.
specific.
Like education systems, like the way that...
Okay. So sorry to hold you there. I'm going to hold you to
Okay.
every single argument you've got. I'm going to work it all through, okay? Now, in the education system, okay, have you got an education?
Yeah.
Who stopped you from getting it?
No one.
No one, okay? So what exactly was there corrupt or racist about the system that you entered?
Well, I think I experienced more racism when it came to, for example, finding work or being the way I was treated by authorities. Less so when it came to
Authorities?
yeah,
In what way?
police and stuff like
Okay,
that.
was that due to your behaviour in any way?
No, definitely not.
So,
Yeah.
In terms of your experiences with the police in the UK or in America, you're from America?
No,
Where are you from? Canada?
no, I'm West African.
West Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you're a very unique case, but it's very good to hear your opinion. Now, your experiences in England, how long have you been in England for?
3 years now.
3 years.
Yeah.
In England, what experiences have you, brilliant example, what experiences have you had with the police in England?
Well, sometimes it's just like you get stopped, well, I get stopped, or recently found out that when you like deliver a mail, you don't even need to show ID, but I was inspected, well not inspected, but asked for that too, but
When you're delivering leaflets, you mean?
just a package. I wanted to deliver a parcel to somebody, and they told me you don't even need to show ID, but they were asking me specifically. Yeah.
ID in where? Where was this?
Like the post office.
Yeah, I don't
So
know
in the
what
post office, they asked you for ID
Yeah,
to send a package.
yeah,
Who did? Which post office was this?
in Beeston somewhere.
In Beeston.
Yeah.
And what did they tell you the reason was for?
Send a package for.
I didn't even, I thought it was just a
Normal thing. Yeah.
So I was just
yeah.
like, okay, yeah, here you go. But other than that, like
Where would you send it to?
here as well, someone who lives
So
here.
there's no reason at all they should have asked you for that, is
Yeah.
there?
But other than that, like
So let's say, for example, if I go to that same shop and they ask me for ID, does that mean they're racist?
if they were to do that to you and to me, then I guess not.
So how do you know they're not doing that to other people if you were not there? You automatically jump to the racism card.
I personally, I don't do that personally.
You just did.
No, I think in terms of like...
Sorry, excuse me. You gave me an example of how you've been racially discriminated in this country, and you said to me you went to a post office in Beeston, okay, and they asked you for ID, and that's justification for systematic racism in this country. You got any other examples, please?
Well, like I said, with the police,
Okay, what happened to the police? What happened with you and
randomly
the police?
getting stopped for
Okay.
no reason. Why?
Okay, where?
Out and about in
Where?
the city, somewhere here in the city.
Where? When?
I don't remember, but I just know
You
what's
don't remember when
happening.
you were stopped, but it's affecting your life so much.
It doesn't
You
really.
don't remember how it happened.
The thing is, for me, it's like I just take it and it's like, okay,
I'm asking
it
you
happened.
a specific question, okay? Have you got any memory problems?
No.
Okay.
Well, kind of. but,
Okay.
yeah.
Where's your memory problems come from?
PTSD and shit like that.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
I have suffered from that as well, and I have bad memory as well, so I completely understand how time frames aren't right.
Yeah.
But you must understand the circumstances in which it happened, you would remember. Because you've given me an example of many times you've been stopped, or 3 times, or how many times? More than once you've been stopped in Nottingham city centre.
Not so much in this country, but I mean, it's happened to me in several countries.
Okay,
before.
we'll talk about this country in a moment.
Yeah.
Have you ever been discriminated against in this country?
Yeah, just once by the police. Yeah.
What happened?
Being stopped.
So being stopped is a crime.
Well, being stopped and just.
How do you know why they stopped you?
Well,
They could
when
just
you're
lie.
black, you
I'm
just.
sorry, I'm asking him.
When you're black, you kind of just realize that that's when the police is stopping you for no reason whatsoever.
How do you know the reason they stopped you? Did they give you a reason?
No.
So you truly believe that the policeman gets up in the morning and he puts his uniform on and looks for the first black person he finds to bother?
Not necessarily, but I think they racially profile people. Or
Okay,
I don't
what
know if that's
area
the
were you
right.
in?
Here in town, in the city.
In town.
Yeah.
Okay. Because let's say, for example, I put an argument to you, okay? Because I understand your argument. I'm just being the devil's advocate here. I've got to be the devil's advocate because I do the same thing to the other side, okay? Now, let's say, for example, say that you're a policeman, George. Yeah? Your name is George. Your name is George. Jules. Sorry, Jules. Yeah. So you're a policeman, Jules. Okay. And you're working in a predominantly black area, or non-white area, should we say? Okay. Predominantly non-black. So there's very rarely many white families there, and that crime also. I mean, that community also has lots of crime issues. Okay. How would you find out who's making the law in there without stopping anyone?
Okay, sorry, can you repeat that? Repeat that, please. Sorry.
If you work in a predominantly black area in the UK, okay, and you're a policeman, okay, and that area, no matter who lives there, is a very high crime-ridden area, okay? And it's your job to stop crime. How do you know who to stop and who not to stop? Or do you just not stop anyone?
I guess you do have to stop certain people in certain places.
Why?
To get closer to the root of the problem.
Okay, and how can they determine who's a criminal before they stop them?
You can't.
Okay, so if
Unless
if they're in a predominantly black area and every single person they stop claims racism, is that true?
No.
No.
If it's predominantly black and they're looking for criminal activity and they stop a black person, now I wouldn't call that racist. But sometimes
how does that person know that's the reason they're stopping them?
I guess sometimes you can just tell from behavior. Like it's
so
not.
You profile someone.
It's not very factual. Like I can.
So you can tell from someone's behavior that they're a criminal.
No. I mean, like I can tell when a police officer can be harassing in a sense.
You can tell when they've decided to harass you.
Yeah. That's how I take it. Yeah.
That's how you take it.
Yeah.
So it's a very subjective view. It's not necessarily true. It's just your experiences dictating your opinion.
Yeah. There's no way I can give you like a full-on piece of evidence to say, yeah, he was racist. But we're human beings, and like you said, a lot of this is subjective, and it's like.
Of course, and this is my problem. You see, is that these subtle nuances in between each other. You see, say like I'm walking in a predominantly black area, and they look at me. Does that make them racist?
If they stop you in a predominantly black.
If they just look at me, or if they cross the road, does that make them racist?
No.
But if they were in a predominantly white area and they crossed the road, that's been used many, many times to me as an example of racism.
Just looking at someone.
Just looking at someone.
I don't have any problem with that.
Thank you. Yeah. So you're very clear that it's only the action or the interference with your life, Jules, that you would not necessarily 100% be sure that it's racism, but your first instinct, based on your experiences, is that they're being racist.
Yeah.
But you don't have actually any evidence for it, and you've never been put in prison for a crime you haven't done.
No, I've never.
Have you ever been assaulted by anybody?
Yeah.
You've been assaulted?
Yeah.
Who by?
Soldiers.
Yeah,
because I used to live in Lebanon.
Oh no, I'm talking about in England.
Oh, no, never in England.
Would you say England is a fundamentally racist country?
It depends on the area, I guess. I think if you go to more liberal areas like London or Manchester, it's fine. But like in any other country, if you go to villages, you might find racism.
I'm so happy to meet you, Jules, because you have been around the world, you see. Because if you go to any fundamental place, even in Africa, if you're from a different African village and you're jet black and they're jet black, it doesn't matter what colour you are. The fact is that they don't recognise you and they're looking after their community. They're going to look at you a bit differently.
Yeah.
They're going to follow you around the shop. They're going to make sure that you're in that area for a good reason, and it's just a community spirit rather than a racism. And I'd really like to differentiate between the two things. A definite act of racism is when you serve somebody differently to somebody else, which could be the case in your case. That's a very good case. It could be the case. It could be the case that in that post office in Beeston, I might go there, and I might try and send a package. That's why I was asking you where you're sending it, because it might be the country. So I was going to do exactly what you did and see what happens to me. See whether they ask me for ID. Did you question them about the ID? Did anyone else go and affront them about it? No. So they don't know I'm coming.
Nope.
That's the main point, you see. Do you know exactly which post office it is?
Honestly, I don't know.
No,
very good.
Thank you so much for your time, then, Jules. And in general, what is your opinion on Black Lives Matter in terms of? I'm sorry to frame the questions, but it is a very subjective point of view for myself. I'm not a journalist, okay? I don't work with any journalistic ethical code. I'm just a person who does vlogs. This is my vlog. I talk to people. That's what I want to say. I bang on the website. You can do it. You can do it on my website as well. If you want to do a vlog, if you want to do a story, you can go onto my website, which is top of Google, and you can write a story of your experiences, and you can release it on my website without no interference. So this is my opinion, because I personally put on my status. I need to get a bit of a consensus. You see, I only reached about 1,000 people. You know what I mean? So on my status, I put. You can disagree, or I want to put it by you because you seem to be very worldly. You know what I mean? I like having worldly opinions. I'm going to get your opinion as well. Don't worry. But I put on my status, yeah. I might be wrong or right, okay, about the official narrative of Black Lives Matter, okay. But from the statuses that I've been seeing on my friends lists, yeah, don't like that. Yeah. On the statuses of my friends, yeah, I've been seeing statuses like, seeing statuses like, all white people are racist, and if you're offended by that, then you're a racist. What do you think about that?
I don't think all white people are racist.
No, I didn't ask you that. What I asked you was, what do you think about the statement I've just given you, which is the message that I've received from the Black Lives Movement in general. The rhetoric that they're giving out is that, you know, white privilege silences violence, whatever that means, and also, all whites are racist, okay? And if you don't agree with the movement, then you're a racist. Where's my position in that paradigm?
Because I think if people are not showing support towards it, then
they're racist.
They're like, in a sense, saying that they don't care about the lives that people are like asking.
If that's true, then you don't care about the Chinese slave laborers in China. You don't care about the Uyghur Muslims being tortured in China right now.
No, I think that's horrific.
Right then, so just because you didn't attend the protest, does that mean you don't agree with it? See, there should be two different rules. You see, for Black Lives Matter, if you don't agree with him, you're an enemy. And if you do agree with him, you're okay. That's not a very good stance to have in general, especially in a majority of a white country, to say that everybody who's white is racist, and if you don't agree with them, then you're racist anyway. That is pure communism, in my opinion. Fascism. That is fascism 101.
I do agree with the statement that saying all white people are racist. That's just like, as a black person, like, nah, like don't do that.
Yeah, of course.
You can't put that on people. And like you said, there's people getting beheaded in Syria. There's Chinese slave labor everywhere.
China,
but
exactly.
the media is the force.
Never mind the maids in Saudi Arabia. The Indonesian maids are getting scolded in Saudi Arabia if their tea don't come hot enough, you know. But yet somehow we've got all of this movement that's occurring all across the entire world, okay, for only black people's lives. That is what it says, unfortunately. Why don't they just say all lives matter? Can you explain why that's the wrong thing to say?
Well, to be honest,
Sorry, give her a chance.
I think.
Why is all lives matter bad?
I think they're not saying that there's lives that don't matter. I think they're just saying that there's lives that need to be heard and seen more than other lives.
More.
Because I think.
So you're literally saying that non-black people should care more about black lives than their own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in some ways. In some ways. Obviously,
Do you fundamentally see how that's racist? To give a preferential treatment over one race over the other. Do you see that?
I obviously, care for yourself and stuff, but, do be, give time to other people as well and let other people's, voices be heard. And
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that, for example, you know, when it comes to racial segregation, I think it's fundamentally a terrible stance to have in any society to discriminate anyone for any reason based on their appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Black Lives Matter to suggest, and you are part of the movement, and you're sort of agreeing with their rhetoric in the sense that if I don't shout at the top of my lungs that Black Lives Matter, it means that for some reason I don't care about black people. Is that what you're inferring?
No, because I think there's different ways that you can support the movement.
Let's just take yes and no answers, just so I'm falling over, yeah. So what I'm saying to you is, again then, so you're saying that I'm not a bad person for not championing somebody else's cause?
I think it's not for just black people to be supporting the cause though, because the problem is with the white system that has been set up.
System. I'm sorry. Not every single person in this system is white. So that's fundamentally an inaccurate statement. There are black people working in the council. There are black people working as policemen. There are Asian people. There are Asian people working in every single community out there. For you to fundamentally say that this system is only a white system is excluding everybody who's got an ethnic minority in this system, is it not?
I understand your
So you
statement.
can't say that, can you?
I'm not saying it to
You can't
be
say
like.
a white system then, can you? Because it's not a white
It's
system.
just
There
the
is a
fact that
representation
the
of every
people that
ethnic
are in-
minority.
But the majority is white.
But it's-
Yeah, the people
I'm
that
sorry.
are in power and the
It has
people
been
that
for years.
representing
Of course.
the
I will
country
accept
from the
that. I will
top
accept that.
level.
I'm not saying that it isn't
Like a
a
lot of the
majority
people
of
in the
white
House of
people
Lords
in the
and House
system, but
of
you can't
Commons
say
are
it's a
just
completely white system.
aristocrats. No, I'm not.
So we all have to be careful with our words, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I said to you, all knife crime is done by black people, that's not accurate, is it? Because of
No,
Glasgow. Glasgow, there's loads of stabbings that are white people killing each other. In Leeds, there's loads of people. So I can't say that, can I? So
No,
you
I-
can't
yeah,
say
I-
what you say either. Is
I
that correct?
understand
Is
what-
that
yeah,
fair?
Yeah, I
Thank you.
understand
Because
what
what
you're
you said to me was
saying.
fundamentally,
Yeah,
in my
it's
opinion, racism.
Yeah. But I meant it in
And
the
it was
way that, like, the way they've
excluding
tried to
people
set up
who,
that
who try.
system.
I'm saying everybody in this country who's tried to change the system. We've got the Equality Act. We've got loads of people like myself who support anybody, and we try our hardest to treat everybody equally. But then somebody like yourself, no offence, is automatically calling anybody like me who works in the system racist because I'm white. Are there not Asian people working in our system that are racist as well?
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, so they're not included in the Black Lives paradigm then?
I don't know.
So that racism isn't as important as other racism?
I think, like,
Oh,
it's important to acknowledge all of it.
but you're not though, because you're saying to me that by me saying all lives matter, I'm being, deciding what's important and what's not. But you yourself, in the same breath, are saying to me that it's a white system that's racist fundamentally, and I'm asking you, what about the Asian people who are racist in that system? What about the black people who are racist in that system? They don't get into your data set.
Yeah, like, I understand your point.
But you just
Like-
agree with it.
No, I agree with your point.
So you agree that you
but-
can't say, in a
Yeah,
free
yeah, yeah.
society, that this society is white racist. That's what you said. You said the system is a white system that's racist.
Yeah, like they've set
can't
it
say
up
that,
to
that's
make
racism.
make it that.
Do you understand
Like-
what I'm saying? To move forward with purity and of intention and integrity in action, you must, of course, have some integrity, and you can't not notice these people if they are minorities like myself or anyone who's a minority of opinion doesn't exist. To me, that's fundamentally the reverse of Black Lives Matter. Would you agree?
That was kind of complicated. I didn't understand what
Okay.
you.
If the fundamental point of Black Lives Matter is that white people or other races don't seem to place as much value on their lives or their feelings or their opinions, and their voices aren't being heard, okay, because they're a minority, then therefore we should all shout for them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if there are a majority of white people like myself who find it very offensive that you use the words white in every single rhetoric that you use, where's my voice? Do I not exist? Who's shouting for my life?
Well, the reason
Because I'm the minority now, aren't I? You see, because on the media, on the news, the sports celebrities, the papers, everybody's endorsing to put Black lives above and be at the foremost of everybody's attention over the Asian racism that they suffer, the Chinese people that suffer racism. Everybody suffers racism, but we've got to specifically shout about only Black lives. Do you not believe that's fundamentally hypocritical?
Not really, because the reason why this is all happening now is because of what black people are experiencing.
No,
It's-
of course,
it's
no,
not-
of
it's
course,
not-
no,
it's not to say
no.
that Asians
I'm
don't
not.
matter or
Listen,
white people
I'm not
don't.
saying that the movement. Yeah, I've got some paper here. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I'm not saying that the movement wasn't born out of a credible, and very valid reason that's been going on for a long time. However, how do you solve that problem by segregating yourselves from the rest of the community?
I guess there's a lot of anger at the moment.
It's not anger. I'm not angry. I am frustrated. I want to support a movement. I wanted to go to Forest Recreation Ground with all my friends and support the Black Lives Movement. Yeah, but I cannot support somebody standing next to me saying all whites are racist. I can't do that because that's racism. But you're okay with that? You're okay with that statement? Are you okay with that statement?
No.
But have you heard that statement when you was there?
No.
I've heard it by some people, but
Thank you,
but-
honesty, Jules. Thank you so much. Because I know you've heard it as well.
But,
Don't lie.
But
Don't lie.
these people don't represent.
Have you heard that statement before?
Yeah. But
Say to me.
I've heard people say all whites are racist, blah blah blah. But
And what did you say about it?
well, I wasn't there to speak to them, so
What did you say about it? What did you do about it?
to them,
Yeah.
nothing.
Right then, so that's violence, isn't it? So he's causing me violence. Correct? Because you didn't say anything about that racism that occurred.
I'm not much of it.
You're accepting, sorry to interrupt you, but you're accepting, yeah, fundamentally that that statement's racist. You heard it and did nothing about it, correct?
Yeah, I
Thank
guess.
you. That's my point.
But I'm not a speaker. I'm not an activist.
No, Jules, you're a fantastic person, and we're all fantastic people, but we must adhere ourselves to the same standards we ask of others. And that's very important to me, you know. When I'm around Asian people and they're saying Gora or they're saying N-word, I don't like that. If I'm around black people and they're saying white boy, I don't like that. If I'm around white people and they're saying the P word about the shop or anything like that, I'm saying, hang on a minute, mate. How do you know who owns that shop? How do you know who owns that shop? You don't know who owns that shop. End of the day, this is my point. For people that are so principled in their rhetoric about how the whole world should be equal and we should all give everybody, you know what I mean, a fair shot, to then turn around and shout out at the top of their lungs and encourage other people to do the same, white people are all racist.
But these people don't represent the Black Lives Matter movement.
This is the answer that I get all the time, and it's true, because the racists don't represent England either, do they? This is my point. You're going to judge the whole entire of the UK and say UK invented racism. UK is a racist country, but those particular EDL idiots don't represent our country. So fundamentally, what you're saying for me to do is to ignore the bad parts of your society, Black Lives Matter, and yet punish and shame the whole of our society for those few individuals as well. To me, I find that very offensive. Do you understand why?
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
Thank you. So next time you're at one of those rallies and you hear somebody saying the word white, can you say to them, for me, don't use that term because it's quite racist. Because if I went around and said, oh, black people like hip-hop, oh, black people love hip-hop, is that not a racist statement?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I would never do that. Can you be on camera? Quick picture for the website? 'Cause I really appreciate what you said. What's your name again?
Fiona.
Thank you, Fiona.
Jules.
Yo, give me a hand, man. This guy's been around the world. I like that sort of, thank you very much. She was very difficult for you, but I really appreciate, because I'm quite a pedantic person in that sense, and I'm quite, you know what I mean, quite, but it's only the principles that I'm arguing. Am I a bad person for arguing that?
No.
Am I racist? No, because I'm getting called racist. All of my Facebook, I'm a racist now, because I don't believe in the fundamental rhetoric that they're giving. I want to go and cheer them, but I'm so much of a Puritan, I can't stand next to someone who's being racist at a racist rally. I can't do it.
I don't think you should.
Remember.
Being racist, I'm just saying a lot of people are just like...
So you're suggesting that I can't talk to black people about this subject? Because I'll get
Not
into it.
everyone. Yeah, not everyone.
No, the words you use, what are the words you use?
Don't go around talking to every single black person about this. You might offend a lot of people. See, I would have been offended.
I'm not trying to offend someone. I'm asking.
I know you're not.
So does that make them right?
In what sense?
Because they're offended by what I said, and they think I'm a racist because I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. Does that make them right?
For them to be offended?
No. If they call me a racist for asking questions about Black Lives Matter...
Oh, no.
Does that make me a racist?
There's no problem with you asking questions
and
at
any
all.
movement should be open to scrutinization, shouldn't it? Especially if it's a global event, I should be able to ask questions about what started it, the rhetoric and anything else, and you believe that. But you're giving me personal advice and saying you don't believe, which I think is quite racist. I must say, Jules, yeah, it's quite racist for you to say that I shouldn't go and speak to black people because I might get in trouble.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like the way you addressed it today. I can definitely see a lot of people would get offended by the way you approached it. But I understand where you're coming from.
How else did I approach it? Or not approach it at all? Stay quiet.
No. I think
stay quiet.
No. Don't stay quiet. I think it's important for people to have discussions like this.
So give me an approach that I can use. Hello there. My name is Philip. I work for Not Start Online, and I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. And I don't agree with it. Are they racist? Do you believe that they're going to hurt me if I say that?
They're not going to hurt you, but
okay.
You might offend somebody, especially with what's going on right now.
My opinion offend anyone. They offend me. So whose offense is most important?
It's human nature. We're all going to offend each other at some point.
Of course, and we're allowed to offend each other, aren't we? Are we allowed to offend each other? No. So why am I being offended and nothing's happening about it? Am I in a minority at the moment? Do I know how it feels now? Is that justice? Because I know how it feels now to be a minority. Is that justice? Is it justice that I'm now being ignored? Is it justice that I'm now a victim of persecution? Because of this positive movement?
I think
my opinion doesn't want to be heard, and I could be physically assaulted for my opinion. Is that justice for George Floyd?
No, no.
And do you believe that the Black Lives Movement has now created a whole generation of radicals who are hell-bent on getting their justice, which hasn't been defined? So it's a very vague and large brush that they're tarring the whole world with, and it's not a good movement in that sense.
I can't agree with that.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's years and years and years of.
Yeah, of course. No. The fundamental reason that they started, I've never heard anyone deny the fact that black people are treated a little bit differently in certain situations. Okay, in the criminal situation, maybe in employment, I don't know. I've not seen any sort of discrimination in any kind of employment. I've seen black bosses, Asian bosses, whatever boss. It doesn't matter what boss it is, they're a boss because they've worked up for the company and they've made it. You know, when somebody writes out an application form and they've got an African name, okay, if that person who's reading it is racist, then yeah. They won't accept it.
Exactly, yeah.
However, if they don't accept it and they're not racist, it cannot be classed as racism at the same time.
Yeah, I guess you can never really pinpoint.
You can't pinpoint it. So
but it's just that if you look at the facts, I don't know them personally, but statistically, black people suffer from this. Is
suffer from what?
For example, not having as many opportunities.
Like what?
Getting a job, for example.
What's an opportunity?
Anything, getting a job.
So are you saying that as a white person, when I wake up in the morning, someone comes to my house and says, "Here's a job"?
Let me put it this way. No,
but I'm asking you. What are you inferring? That I've got more opportunity than you when I wake up in the morning. If I don't brush my teeth, if I don't do certain things, I will never get a job. That's a fact. Whether I'm white or black, okay. If I don't turn up to a place of employment and try and get a job, and I look presentable, in a business sense, yeah. Because like your hair, for example, do you believe your hair is professional?
Do I believe?
Is your hair an expression of your political views?
What do you mean?
No, what I mean is, there's a bit of an argument with people asking me to be cut their hair. I'm not against people having their hair however they want to have their hair, okay? But if somebody came to a place and it looked unkept, like no offense, but your hair looks unkept, in my opinion. Would you agree with that?
No.
No.
Because to me, this is like my African hair. This is how it is.
Yeah. No, of course. But that is systematic racism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've seen that in the workplace here. This is what I'm talking about. My opinion isn't the law, is it? Do you understand? It's not the law. But as a business owner, okay, can I not determine the appearance of my employees?
But that's where the racism comes in again.
Because they don't want black people representing their company.
Yeah, because
if you cut your hair, you could. If you cut your hair, you can.
Yeah,
so it's not your skin colour; it's your choice of style of hair. Some people could go in Mohican, and they've been told the same thing at work. You can't come to work with a Mohican. Now, is that racist against white people?
I wouldn't use the word racism here. I don't know the word for it.
Sorry, yeah. But discrimination.
I think that's the word. But for example, a lot of people. I even have friends. Like I have a friend, her hair is like really bushy.
Yeah.
And she told me like they told her at workplace like you gotta shorten it or straighten it, and that's racism because
if that's into straighten it,
you're making me.
If that's into straighten it, yes. I don't agree with straighten it.
Because you're making me fit an image that you want.
Yeah, of course.
A white image in this case.
Of course, yeah.
That's racism.
100%. That is racism. That is discrimination. But what I'm saying to you is that. In certain situations, in a professional environment, it's not, I don't care what anybody says, it's not a professional look to have a Mohican, is it?
Well, I'm against the system, so...
Listen, I'm fully against it, don't worry, yeah. Right, I was part of Occupy Movement, Anonymous, I'm part of them all, yeah? Don't worry about that. It's not about who's asking the question.
I want to live in a world where, like, someone with a mohawk or someone with a suit could walk in and I'm not going to judge either one.
But you will.
I won't. Personally, I won't.
No, but you do. Everybody does, don't they? Everybody does everybody on So why did you choose the clothes you wear if that's not true? Do you know what I mean?
This is what represents me.
Yeah, of course it represents you. So the company's got a choice of what it represents and it owns the company. You own your body, so you get to choose what you wear. Yeah. As a company, they've got a certain image that they want to maintain, okay?
And that's exactly why there's less opportunities for minorities.
So,
because let's say a company, they want someone, suited up and looking fresh and all that.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
So do you think your hair looks kept?
Kept is the wrong word here.
Have you managed your hair today?
No, because I don't need to.
No, but it's just a simple question. You have not managed your hair today.
Managed in what sense?
Groomed it.
I can't groom it.
You can't groom it?
No, like this is how I gotta keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against people having different kinds of hair, but what I'm trying to get at is that as a company image, if you are dealing with people who haven't got their hair in a uniformed way.
That's exactly what I mean.
A uniform.
Your
a
idea
uniform.
that
No, but I'm saying a uniform is a uniform. Yeah. So, for example, if your hair is a uniform, okay, your hair is a uniform. Yeah, and you're some people with it tucked out, some people with it tucked in. They're still wearing a uniform, but you're saying tuck your shirt in. Now, in the same sense with hair, if I went to work here with white hair, okay, that was not being groomed today, which you said it hasn't been groomed today, correct? So I went to here without my hair being groomed, and I would look like, you know, someone on the street, whatever else, and my hair was all over the place. I miss my hair. Oh, I'm not going to lie to you, yeah? I'm jealous of hair, yeah? But still, if I went to work here, my hair wasn't done, I would have somebody saying to me, Phil, have you not sorted out your hair today? They would say something to me, especially if I'm on a front desk or in general, because there's a standard that we must uphold, which is everybody represents themselves and they groom every single day. They handle their business every single day. You might not be practically good for you to handle your hair in that environment, but is it ready for the whole company to change the environment, or is it for you to change yourself to fit into an environment which you want to work in? Do you want to work there? It's not the other way around where they want everybody who doesn't want to work there to work there. No one's forcing you to work there. If you want to work with your hair however you want to work, you must find a location where it doesn't matter.
But that's the thing.
But what's into is, if I had, do you understand like these companies that you sign a contract, I want to work for, you want to work for them, okay? They're not coming to your door and saying work for me, but you can't wear your hair like that, are they? They're not putting any demands on your life whatsoever. If you want to work in an environment which is a professional environment, then you must act like a professional, and a professional person is always well kept. Is that not a general consensus across the world? Like, if you had really long dreads, that's fair enough, but I'm not saying to you is if those dreads were kept. There's a difference, isn't there? You understand, between kept dreads and not kept dreads. There is a huge difference, in my opinion.
I think if it doesn't affect your work ethic and it doesn't affect how you do your job, it shouldn't matter what you look like.
Of course not. No, of course not. No, of course not. No, of course not. But if you, okay then. So if you went to McDonald's, yeah, and you seen a guy with a Nazi sign on his forehead, would that be okay?
No, because that's a symbol instead. I think that's different from.
Some people would say that your hair is a symbol of rebellious nature. It is true, isn't it? When you don't actually like you could have your hair in any different you could have your hair short, couldn't you? Still be an afro hair. No one's telling you can't be black, but if it was cut short, then that would just display a different kind of person, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, like, if a white person grew his hair out, it's the nature, the texture.
They get told no. They get told the same way. People with long gothy hair, no offense, people with long gothy hair, yeah, in any environment, they'll say, mate, your hairs are getting a bit much, mate. They get told the same way. I've seen it. Mohicans. You can't wear your Mohican at work. You can't wear a Mohican at work because a Mohican represents punk. It represents anti-authority, this, that, and the other. And they can't have somebody working for a financial organisation who's a rebel, because you wouldn't feel safe handing your money over to a rebel, would you? Because you're a conservative person in a business environment, you're not going to hand your money over to somebody who doesn't care about rules.
But then I guess that could.
Do you understand why this is why these rules are in place? Because rules give people security, and they give people confidence in the business practices of that company. So if everybody follows the rule in that company, then you believe that when you're not looking, the company's also following the rules. If you come to the front desk and someone's got the shirt hanging out or their hair isn't kept, that makes you think that when they put your file in the cupboard, are they going to maintain the same standard as they maintain their own hair?
But then is that just like a stereotype?
It's not necessarily racism. It only affects a certain amount of people who choose to have their hair that way. It's your choice how you have your hair, okay? No one's telling you must walk around public like that. But if you walk inside a professional image situation and, unfortunately, unkept hair, in my opinion, or anyone's opinion, isn't representing somebody who's on their shit. Would you disagree?
I can definitely see where you're coming from.
It's not racism, bro. It's not racism, fam.
Yeah.
It's not racism. I'll tell you that is not racism. That is not racism.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, but if I went to Africa, okay, with a bald head, yeah, and an England flag on, how many jobs would I get? How many jobs would I get?
You probably get you'd probably get what's the word?
Discrimination.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the whole of Africa racist?
No, definitely not.
So do you understand my point now? I hope the world understands my thought now, that it's not necessarily the individual who's being racist, it's the company as a whole who's got standards, this and that. I can fully understand how you would feel personally persecuted because it personally affects your life. But now it's personally affecting my life, and I feel persecuted, and nobody wants to hear my opinion, apart from you. Yes, my G. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
But am I racist? Does that make me racist? Honestly.
No, you're definitely not racist, because I see that you're just trying to support the fact that you don't want to be called racist, because obviously when a group is saying X is racist.
I'm trying to just find the actual reasons for racism in the mind. So if somebody said to you or you in the street for no reason and pointed you out and stopped your life, that you going to another company trying to get a job and not getting a job is a whole other situation. Do you understand? And you can't keep putting all these things and connecting all the dots and then coming up with a solution. Oh, you know, In my opinion, every individual is responsible for their own racist attitude or not. Yeah. Well, I was anyway. Until I seen the hypocrisies within that movement. Like, for example, in the Occupy movement, they were talking about the corruption of Bilderberg and, you know, the 1%ers and stuff. The minute we got donations on the site, only 1% of the people got the benefits of their donations, and one people could drink on the site, etc. So I'm just more looking at the fundamental hypocrisies of human beings in general when we're in groups. We claim, you know, we've got we've got everyone's best interest at heart, but people who generally say that have only got their own best interest at heart, in my experience. Where are you from? Are you from England?
Yes, I am.
Are you from Nottingham?
No, I'm from London.
From London. Fantastic, brilliant. What's your name? Tom. You're Tom, yeah? Can you hold the camera while I speak to you? So you can be on camera as well if you want. I just don't want to be offensive.
All right, okay.
Basically, yeah. Now, my issue was that I felt really threatened, very, like, not justifiably, just from my own perception, you know. I felt that it would be very unsafe for me to ask questions about Black Lives Matter. Okay. I don't know whether you're for it or not. I'm not going to judge you.
I'm alright, it's alright, yeah.
Are you for it?
Yeah, of course, for it, yeah.
Now, I was all for it until I noticed the rhetoric on the signs. The signs, they say white genocide, or, you know, white privilege, or white people are racist, and things like that. And I'm fundamentally against racism in all ways, you know, and so I've got integrity. I don't know about you, do you know what I mean? I don't know who else has got integrity in the world, but if I was going to go to an anti-racism rally or anything like that, and people were shouting out any generalisation about anyone, I could no longer support that cause.
Right.
Or I would find a way to let them know to do it differently.
Okay.
You could say the majority, you could say all different kinds of ways of saying things, depending on your personal situation. People say, you're just picnicking, or you're just being pedantic.
Yeah.
I'm not being pedantic. I'm just a man of integrity.
Right.
So, am I racist for not supporting the Black Lives movement?
No.
Am I racist for saying all lives matter?
No.
Am I racist for saying that if a policeman is in a predominantly black area, or non-white area, should we say,
okay,
and there's a lot of crime occurring there for whatever economic reasons or systematic reasons, whatever the reasons are, that individual policeman has got to stop crime in that area, and if they have only got black people to stop in that area, then how can they be racist by stopping black people in that area?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Are you from a crime-ridden area at all?
Yeah, it's kind of black area as well.
Where's that, London?
London, southeast London.
Tell me about what it's like up there for a black guy. I don't know. I'm a white guy from Nottingham. What do I know about it? Tell me. Do you feel that the system is completely against you, or do you think that it's down to the individual's life choices as well?
I think it's individuals. Like me myself, I've never been stopped by the police. Only once driving, and there was no one to check.
And they didn't falsify any evidence against you?
No.
They didn't use any racial slurs?
No.
They didn't talk to you in a disrespectful manner? No? They didn't assume you was a criminal?
No.
No. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thank you very much.
You got anything to ask me?
No, I'm good.
Man, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
very
time,
much.
mate. That's a picture of it.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much. This is the guy I was talking to, and he is an open-minded individual, and we do all support Black Lives Matter, but we could never support racism from any side, can we? Thank you very much for your time, mate. I really appreciate that. Take care. Welcome to Nottingham as well. Thank you. Take care. Your cycling trip today. I'm just asking you, where do you stand on the poppies being banned from the Premiership shirts, but the Black Lives Matter political movement is allowed? How do you feel about that?
It's a bit double standards, really, isn't it?
Double standards, you say?
I think if you allow one, you've got to allow everything else. So I would just say, in football, when it comes down to it, I don't think you should be allowed to air your political views on that platform. Simple as that.
Thank you very much for your time.
That's it.
Take care. Right, hello everyone. Yes, it's Philip again from Not Start Online. I've just stopped some individuals in the street again, and I just want to ask your opinion. Are you for or against Black Lives Matter? For. And are you white or black?
Black.
Okay. And are you for the statements that are coming out in regard to claiming that all white people are racist?
said most of them are racist.
Most of them, yeah, that's fine. It's just, yeah, if that's your opinion, obviously it's always okay to have your own opinion. It's just that, you know, when, like, say that white people want to support the issue, okay, and it's meant to be against racism, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So how can I, as a white person, go to a Black Lives Movement protest to hear the word white used in every single one of their rhetorics? White privilege, you know, white people are racist, UK invented racism. I mean, how is that going to really help your cause, if it is your cause? Is it your cause? Are you for the movement?
I'm for the movement, but what I'm trying to say is not all white people are racist.
No, but no, the question was, how can I, as a white person, support a movement which to me, I find racist? I'm not going to lie to you, I find it racist. I really
use the word white
horrible.
Privilege, whiteness, white people are racist.
Okay, and with the term white privilege, I've got a question that's on my Facebook right now, and I'm getting murdered for it. Don't get it twisted here. I'm getting murdered for it. Because I'm a rapper as well. Got enough rappers on my list here, and they're all saying I'm a racist now, because I said one thing. And what I said was, okay, what can I achieve in this country that a black person can't? What can I be in this country that a black person can't? What can I earn or like achieve, or what can I own in this country that a black person can't?
I get why people got angry at that.
White privilege. I mean, obviously, it means something to one person and another thing to another person. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just when it's just a slogan, it's not explained, and obviously there is a bit of ignorance around the whole subject, isn't there? White people don't know about black people's problems. Black people don't know about white people's problems.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anyone's problem, do they? We all know each other's problems. So I find that fundamentally, if the organisation is against racism, I would not be able to tolerate somebody being racist around me, full stop. And I find it fundamentally hypocritical for anybody like myself. If I'm in my Asian friends and they say something bad against white people, well, I'll say something. If I'm with my black friends and they say something like white boy, I'll accost them for it. Okay. And so in this Black Lives Movement, which is black rights basically, isn't it? Yeah. How come nobody's accosting racist rhetoric?
That's a very hard question, but I really don't know the answer.
Because it's about integrity, see. Because I'm a very integrity. I mean, integrity through action and intention. You know, if you intend to help someone, then help them. If you really want to help them, don't pretend to help them, or don't pretend you care about black people. If you truly don't, if when you're in your job you don't employ them, you can't be shouting this movement if in your actions you don't do it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
This is where we come from. Silence is violence, don't we? If you don't stop someone being racist, and you could say something, and you don't, then really you're accepting that behaviour, aren't you? Just like somebody getting assaulted in the street, if you don't call the police or you don't do something about it, you're not helping society by allowing it to continue. So with that fundamental point, which is where this Black Lives Movement is, in my opinion, is originated from, no one cares about the black life that's been lost by this policeman. Or obviously they do, but I'm saying that people don't care about black people's problems, whatever they are, because white people don't have them. Okay? Now I'm asking, what problems or what can I do as a white person? I'm trying to fundamentally find a common ground between the two causes, because me, unfortunately, due to this very popular cause...
experience.
No, but I'm saying, but due to the point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to racism, it doesn't matter who it occurs to, all lives do matter. I believe that. But some people do find that offensive, you know? When someone says that all lives matter, they think that I'm being ignorant, or I don't understand the cause. Biased. Yeah, I don't understand the cause. I'm not from the same place.
I find that quite funny because last night I had about 40 people in the apartments, and about 6 or 7 of them was actually saying to me, and they were black, that all lives matter.
No, of course.
They were saying that.
No, of course, but
it's not just black lives.
No, of course. I mean, I'm not saying that the fundamental movement is racist. I'm just saying that. Obviously, in our society, there is racists. We all know that. Probably 10%, I don't know, extreme to not so extreme. They might make us whatever it is. I'm just trying to break down maybe black individuals' perspective on this country could fundamentally be causing problems as well, you see. If you automatically assume that somebody crossed the road because you're black, someone could cross the road on me. But I'm not hyper-focused on race, so I don't judge that person immediately. Because he's white,
it's more so the
is he a racist? Because he crossed the road. Is somebody a racist because they didn't give you a job? How do you know these things in your mind to be absolutely true?
That's the problem. That's the problem. You know, we fully don't know if they're racist.
It's also the experience.
No, of course.
Most of the people that are protesting have most likely experienced.
With what? Give me an example.
Experience, like, say...
Any example?
Huh?
Any example?
Say the police. Hence the police.
Are you talking personal experience?
No, I'm not talking about personal
experience.
Your personal
experience then. So
my personal experience.
My personal experience. Yeah. Have you ever been wrongfully accosted in the street by a policeman?
Yes.
What happened? Where were you?
I was walking on the street.
Where? Which street? Not specifically, but was you in a crime-ridden area? That's my question, basically.
Was I in the crime area? No.
Okay, what area is it? A nice area?
It was a nice area. I was driving a nice car. A policeman saw me and pulled me over.
And what did he say to you?
I asked him, why did you pull me over?
No, what did he say to you?
He said, I'm giving an example.
Oh, yeah.
I told him, why was I stopped? He said, I'm just doing up some checks.
Okay, how do you know that he's lying?
Because I'm literally all checked out. There's nothing wrong with the car.
Oh, I see. Yes, there's no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no reason. He just saw my face and me driving a nice car, and he thought I probably couldn't afford it.
You do look young, don't you?
Yeah, I do look young. Yeah,
you do look young.
I must admit, if I was a police officer, I think I would have pulled him over.
Why?
Looked underage.
Thank you very much. So that could be a possible reason why.
He didn't see that.
So really, in my experiences, if somebody's automatically jumping to a conclusion, if somebody's automatically jumping to a conclusion, okay, but on the policeman's behalf, you're automatically assuming that he's a racist. Aren't you racist?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just said.
So you give me.
That's him being.
Yeah, but you're giving me an example of racism. I want only examples of racism.
I don't class that as racist. I don't class that as racist.
Please give me. Sorry to interrupt
I've never
you.
been in a situation where someone has been racist to me.
Okay, so how can you support the movement then?
The Black Lives Matter movement.
How can you support the movement if you've never seen it or experienced it?
The movement that I support is the examples of the people that have been victimized online.
So you're only doing it for George?
I know stories.
You're only doing it for George?
I know persons. Not only George. Not only George.
Okay, those stories
Every
that you're
single
talking about,
person that has been victimized.
Okay.
By the police.
Now, if I ask you a question, yeah, let's say that, I mean, I come from them sort of areas. You know what I mean? All in my school life, I'm not like from a majority white area, so I understand both sides very, very well, and I'll never say that there isn't. But you must also understand the other side of the coin, because being fundamentally ignorant on the white side.
I'll also give you another example.
You can also be fundamentally.
I'll give you another example. There was this one university that I applied for. Me and one white kid, both have the same grades. Literally, more so, I had better grades than him. We both applied for the same university, the same course. The course requirements were literally the same for me and him. He got accepted and I never.
How do you know that he wasn't the last one to get on the group and there's no more
No.
left? How do you know
He
that?
got accepted and I never.
But how do you know that he was not the last person accepted?
If I had better...
If there's 5 places left, okay, and you were the 6th one, how do you know it was a racist?
No. I had better grades than him.
It doesn't matter the reason why.
I'm saying we both had interviews. I both went to the interview.
Oh, so they've met you?
They met me.
So maybe it's something that you put across in the interview. They thought it wasn't quite right for the course. But how can you definitely say it's racism?
Well, it wasn't racism. More so,
give me an example of racism. I've asked you twice now. Can I have an example of racism?
I told you that
Can I have an example of racism, please, Phil?
Okay, cool. Someone physically said to me, "You black bastard."
Okay, I've been called a white bastard as well, and I was told that isn't racist by a black person.
Your movement and your
No, it's not me. It's
your
us.
opinion.
It's us.
Huh?
It's us as a. I mean, are you from the UK?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pass it, yeah.
Okay, so how would you describe your identity?
I'll call myself Dutch because I came to the country when I was 2002. So, me personally, I would class myself British.
So you're not British?
I'm Dutch now.
Okay, so
British.
let's say, for example, then, we haven't got any existing examples of racism yet. Have you got any examples? I've given you 3 chances.
I do.
You haven't given me one.
I do.
No, you haven't got no example of racism.
I do, but you don't put me on the spot.
Well, apparently it happens every single day. That's what I've been told. Every single day. In modern Britain, in modern Britain, they say that every single day, people cross the street, that's a crime.
You get pulled over by
people stare at people.
I don't call that racism.
It's not you, brother. I'm just being. I mean, I've got to be provocative to get these conversations going.
No cliche.
Okay, what you say? You've been pulled every day?
Every day, but I don't look at it as like they're pulling me over because I'm black. I don't look at it.
So what? So you think the police are just doing his job?
I don't think that's racism. I just think it's
because most of the time I got pulled over.
Discriminative.
I had my lights off. I was turning too quick.
Thank you. So you're honest, integrity. You're a man of integrity, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm just
I
got no road tax.
I say
your example is hard. Yours a hard example, but did you look a bit young? So it's one of them.
No. Listen to this. I say the police more say they think of stereotypes.
Okay.
Their stereotypes.
Okay. You're stereotyping the police.
Their thinking.
You're stereotyping the police to say that the police stereotype others. Okay.
Yes.
And I accept that.
Yes.
I'm not trying to argue with you personally. I'm just saying. Let me put an example to you. Okay. If you were a policeman, what's your name? Ali. If you were a policeman, yeah. Okay. And you were working in a.
What were you say? What's the topic?
So we're recording now anyway. So it's not going to go online unless you want it to. All right.
Yeah.
Basically, my name is Phil, and I work for a website called Knots Online, which is all about Nottingham. Now, on the news today or yesterday, they were talking about how the poppy is banned from any shirt for political reasons. You can't have any sort of political, apparently, according to the Premier League, you can't have any political association with your shirt.
Yeah.
Yet they have now changed that
to Black
Lives Matter. Do you think that's fair?
No, I think it should be equal rights for both of them. I think the poppy should be allowed, just if Black Lives Matter does. I know it's all a bit
sensitive.
Oh yeah, a bit sensitive when you say all lives matter, because we do have that white privilege. But
I don't believe in white privilege. I can't have that. What can I buy that somebody else can't buy? What can I work as that no one else can work as? What can I achieve that no one else can achieve?
Maybe not white privilege, maybe just a better nurtured background anyway.
No, I wouldn't say that either, because that's very judgmental upon all white people say they've all got good backgrounds. I would personally say...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, it doesn't matter about if you're white, like, people do have nurtured backgrounds.
Of course, you mean prejudices, of course. People have always got prejudices, and yes, I would agree that because the majority of the UK is white, then there is going to be a small amount, 10% amount of people that have got extreme racism or minor racism, or they express it in different ways.
Yeah.
However, because you're surrounded by white people all the time, then you would imagine that they're all like that, but you're only taking a small consensus, which in my opinion is also racism. If you've only received racism from white people, it doesn't mean that all white people are racist.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So you can't say that all white people are racist to me, and for me to not be offended by it. I mean, I recently put a status up on my Facebook saying, BLM logic, all white people are racist, and if you're offended by that, then you're a racist. And I don't know whether that's their official line.
I don't believe in that, because I'm offended when people say that all white people are racist, because I've grown up with many multiculturals, because I'm back from Greater Manchester, so all around the area. But yeah, I agree with you there.
Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Right,
Thank you. Respect. Thank you.
I'm not a journalist. I have no ethical codes at all. I just come here and I talk to people with a camera. I'm a vlogger. I've been coming out here today to try and reconciliate my issues with the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't disagree with the original principles as why they've started, but I find it very difficult for me to stand next to somebody who says all white people are racist at an anti-racist event. And then for me to question somebody and then be called a racist if I don't agree with that rhetoric, I find it aggravating, and I find it very negative towards the whole issue itself. How on earth can anybody support Black Lives Matter as a white person after hearing that?
Was that an account that you had? Did someone call you a racist whilst you was at the protest?
On the internet they have.
On the internet. Yeah. I don't feel like that's the representation, bro, of a whole movement. Because everyone in their movements is an individual person, bro, and there's people on all different aspects of life, bro, that will have their own opinions.
So with that fact that you just mentioned, that's a fact, okay? We cannot control other people. There's always going to be individuals who do things wrong. How does then Black Lives Matter justify calling the entire UK racist?
Yeah, but is it Black Lives Matter saying that, bro, or is it like one person who may have had their own experience which makes them feel that?
Institutional racism has been used a lot by everybody in the Black Lives Movement matter. No one can dispel that to me, okay? So they are fundamentally saying that this institution in this country, okay, which has got discrimination laws, and etc, 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 we've been working towards it. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist or hasn't existed or hasn't been a lot of a problem. No one's saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in 2020, for a progressive movement to label every individual who works in the system a racist, that's including Asian people and black people who work in the system, are being called racist as well. I believe that their fundamental rhetoric is turning more people against them than solving a problem.
I think it's a small majority, because like we said, when I was at the protest, bro, the things they were saying were very inclusive of all races, bro. And when I was there, I seen loads of different races, and it wasn't like there was loads of white people and a few black people, or it was like a really balanced amount of people there, and I appreciated that. And obviously, a lot of racism does come from, it does come from white people, bro, and it comes from.
Hang on a minute. You cannot make a determination about saying that white people are the majority of racist persons.
White people run the world. White people control the world, and those people.
I'm sorry. When you say white people rule the world, you say that as if it was somebody else, it'd be different. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, because it's equality.
So you're suggesting that other people aren't racist because white people are in control of the world?
No, it's not that white people are all racist.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well,
what I'm saying is,
You're saying that because I'm not twisting his words. What he said is that the whole world's racist because white people are in control of it. Can I not argue, okay? Let's say, for example, in any society, in any group, in any tribe, in any country, okay, if somebody isn't like you, you're always going to have a bias towards people that are like you.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true? Well, when I asked an African individual that same question, he said yes. When I go to a different village, they look at me. When I go to a different village, I'm treated differently.
Yeah, but that's because he's a minority, bro. So he's gonna have to want to stick together with other black people. As I'm a white person, bear in mind, because I'm not on the camera. I'm a white person, and I don't know, and this is just my assumption in this conversation now, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, but me too. I may feel like if that's someone who's a minority in a heavily white dominated area, he might feel a little bit more...
In the same area, in the same race, if they go to a different city where they're all black, they still get the same looks, they still get the same problems with
employment. What, from other black people?
Yes, because they're not from that city, or they're not from that tribe, or they're not from that association or not. So it occurs across all people. So no matter who was in charge, it would occur. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you can't demonise only the white race for racism based on those premises, can you?
Yeah, but
you just did that to me, and I find that offensive.
However.